everyone, happy Friday. Thank you for joining me tonight. My name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we make lovely and quirky hand embroidery kits. And I am here every weeknight at 8:30 p.m. Central Time, and it's a time that we can relax and craft together. I typically work on projects from beginning to end, so you can be part of the whole process along the way and ask questions and just come and hang out. So we are working on the Splendid Sampler 2 again. I am doing Quilt as you go squares, and it's so I can practice machine quilting really, but also hand quilting. So we started hand quilting. We did these 3 little mountains last night. With varying results. I think I'm getting the hang of it a little bit. I did a little bit more research today. So we're going to give it another go tonight on another group of these little mountains. So thank you guys again for joining me. I'm going to flip you around. Oh, I did put the link now to that swan, the swan embroidery that we'll be doing in a week or so. That is now in the post here. I will share the bundle with you. I'll break it all down here with you on Monday. So we'll wait till Monday for that. So thanks again, guys. It's also Finish It Friday, but we are going to work on the Splendid Sampler just because it's kind of an unfinished project at this point. We haven't worked on it in a while, and we're bringing it back. So I thought, let's keep going tonight. So, all right, I'm going to flip you around and we'll get started. Okay, so we should be able to get quite a bit more stitching done tonight, I think, because last night we sandwiched this little piece together. So we taped down the back and pinned it together. Sandwich it meaning we put the 3 layers together. We're basting them, meaning we're holding them together temporarily with our little pins. And as I'm stitching, I've been taking them out. So here's my little triangle. So this is kind of the 3rd triangle. I think we're getting a lot better with the stitches, and I think I'm getting a little bit of hang of it. And I thought about it all day, and was confirmed when I looked at some videos tonight on how to do it. And I think I'm going to be able to get this rocking motion down. Hopefully, we'll give it a go. And here's the back there. So, all right, I'm going to start right here. We'll do these mountains again and then come across this way. Maybe I'll be able to get enough thread to do that all at once this time, which is probably not a great idea. I should probably do it a little by little, but all right. So for needles, I think I'm probably using an okay needle for this. You want to use, ideally, betweens needle or in-betweens. They're called, are they betweens or in-betweens now? They must be betweens. So what it is, it's just like your normal Sharps sewing needle. It's pretty stiff. It's not going to bend, and it's got the sharp point. It's got the little itty-bitty eye, and it's short. So like if I'm comparing it to my embroidery needle that I typically use, the eye is much smaller, and it's a shorter needle. So I'm going to continue using that tonight. I got my little thimble here. The video I watched, he was wearing it on the 3rd finger, so that's where it fits the best for me, so I'm just going to go with that. The one difference I have with the thread is sometimes it's I've used pearl cotton floss for this before too. Right now I'm using 12 weight Sulky's 12 weight cotton. They're called cotton petites, but they're the 12 weight cotton thread. I'm using it in this nice cream color to match. This isn't necessarily quilting thread though. It's about the same thickness of quilting thread, I think, but I guess quilting thread doesn't fray as much. Oh gosh, I'm tying a knot here. Doesn't fray as much at the beginning, because you have to thread it through this tiny needle. So I was having trouble last night threading it because it is a little fat thread and it's going through this little needle, and it was kind of separating a hair. And so you can see right there, but supposedly if you get quilting thread, it says quilting right on there. That shouldn't happen. And I suspect if you use pearl cotton floss, that's going to happen quite a bit as well, that fraying. But, you know, it's not the end of the world. We still managed. All right, I'm going to tie my knot at the end here. I'll just do a little double knot. I'm going to just snip it so it's a little shorter. Okay, so we're going to start right here, and we're going to do these mountains. So I'm going to start a little bit away again, and we're going to come up in that spot that we want. And I'm only in the top fabric now. I'm not through all the 3 layers or anything. Let's go we'll go a little inside a little bit more tonight. How about right there? Okay. So the first bit is us popping that little knot through. So the knot's right there. I'm just going to yank on it just a hair. Not too hard because I don't want to pull it all the way through. So just, ooh, it's not wanting to go. Let's just kind of open up that hole a little bit more. Yank it a little bit more. Oh, there we go. Got it. So then we can just kind of scratch this top a little bit and that hole will go away. But all right, let's do it. So we are going to try that rocking motion again to get it's basically a running stitch. So I'm going to we'll go like right there for our first stitch. And then as soon as I feel it from the back, you know, this is where I'm going vertical down and I want to come vertical up. But we are going to help ourselves a little bit on the vertical up. So I'm tilting it here, but instead of tilting it all the way so it's purely vertical, I'm gonna mimic the vertical by making my fabric move vertical too. See, so I'm pushing the fabric down. So now it basically is kind of vertical going back in, and actually there, once it's coming through, now I'm gonna flip it all the way back up. All right, it came through. Now we're gonna flip it down, and I'm gonna move that fabric out of the way here again with my thumb. Vertical and vertical, and let's see what we got there. Oh, the thread splits for you. Yeah. All right, so there's our first little bit. I suppose I'm not going awfully straight, but those stitches don't look half bad. Yeah, in the back, not too shabby either. So let's keep going here. So if I was in a hoop here, I obviously wouldn't be able to put my hand underneath, but I'd still be able to, it wouldn't be tight in the hoop, so I'd still be able to kind of maneuver my thumb a little bit. Actually, I'd probably do it with the same hand. Let's try that. Yeah, so if my left hand is completely underneath, then I'd probably get this hand here and do it that way. That actually looks more like how it looks when people hand quilt. They're doing it all with this hand. However, I'm not in a hoop right now. But I suppose I should practice how it's really done, huh? All right, one last stitch up here. Oop. Get pushing thimble. There we are. I'm just going to hold it and pull a little bit. I do have a quilting hoop, but it's too big for this little quilt as you go square. So I went through just tons of fabric here, I think. Ugh, take that thimble off and yank. There we go. All right, let's go down this way. I mean, I would like to try this in a hoop, and my embroidery hoop wasn't big enough to, it didn't open large enough to actually, oops, slid a little bit, to get this into the hoop. I'm going a little too far, so that's the touch that I think I gotta get used to.
Oh, and let's try and do it all with this hand again, which is quite awkward, but obviously that's the thing that you're going to get used to after a while, I think. They're just trying to use the same hand. We'll do one more. I keep using two hands. Come on, needle. All right, we got one little mountain done here, though. There we go. But yeah, I think it's just with that one hand, that rocking motion. So obviously I was doing a little bit better when I was using this hand as far as my stitches, but I do want to get comfortable doing it that traditional way with just the one hand. Oh, a friend of yours only hand quilts. I think once you get going, like if you're just like near, and you got the rhythm, it probably works out. Oh, you guys, you know what? I just realized I was trying to fit the hoop on, but it's a wrapped hoop, so it's already taking up a lot of space there. I wonder if I have a different hoop here. It's a smaller hoop, but it's not wrapped, so I bet you we have more leeway. I mean, we're getting real close to the edge here, but let's give this a try. I'm curious about the in the hoop way of doing this, because I want to try with that one hand, that rocking motion. So I open that as far as I can go. Let's get all this thread in the middle here. We're so close to the edge here. I think I actually need to go a little farther out. Then all my pins are in the way. Oh, you have a friend that says the machines don't like her, so she's doing it all by hand too. Oh, I think we're getting this on. Okay, great. So yeah, so that kind of did the trick. I mean, I'm not quite on yet, but just the not having that wrapped hoop. I'm actually just pushing down on here too because I want it loose. So I think it's not going to stretch all the way if I'm kind of making it have leeway here. So we don't actually want this drum like how we do with embroidery. With embroidery, you want it kind of tight. Here we want it looser, and I think this is actually too tight still. I'm going to try and make it a little looser. It's difficult because I don't have much room left with this embroidery hoop. So I'm just trying to keep the looseness. Ooh, it's tight though still. All right, I think we're on, and yeah, I think we got a little bit more looseness in there. Now we can tighten this up. We'll see if this works. It's not quite on. A quilting hoop is also a little wider. All right, there we go. Let's see if this works. So I don't know. The trick is, can I get my finger up doing that vertical? But I am kind of pressing from this side too, so I might be able to get that one hand rocking motion with the help of my other hand. So all right, let's give it a go. All right, I'm in. Oh, let's get my thimble. Get that back here. Trying to get good at that too. Oh gosh, that's a big stitch. See, I think I need it a bit looser. Ugh, and then it's just gonna come off. Yeah, this hoop just might not be quite the right thing. But our stitches will just be a hair bigger tonight, I think. Okay, gotta get this to point down. There we go. All right, that's kind of right. I just pushed too far. So it's funny. So it has resistance, right? Like right when I start pushing in, and it has like some resistance. So I'm pushing, but then the moment that tip of that needle gets through, it starts getting really loose. So I keep overdoing it a hair. Yeah, this is definitely going to have a new feel. But that's why I'm doing it, because it's totally foreign, right? But I know by the time I'm done with this whole entire block here, hopefully I have a little bit more of a feel to it. Oops, sorry, I hit the phone here. Should be trying to aim at this angle here too. Oh, hold on a sec, you guys. My power is acting up here. All right. Hopefully we don't die here, but my power is low on this phone. I'm having all sorts of tech issues lately. Mickey Dupre has tutorials for hand sewing black. Oh, you love her templates. Ooh, I'll have to pay attention to that. Oh, goodness. This is just crazy looking, but I kind of love when things like don't go as planned, though. Like, those are giant stitches. But it's just, I like seeing where I come from. You know what I mean? Ooh, nice, Noeline. That's always a fun win. All right, I think the phone's charging now, hopefully. All right, this is where I want to try and get that verticalness going. I can get down, but I don't think I am loose enough. Well, my stitches are gonna just start out a hair big. Yeah, I can't get quite vertical there. This is definitely too tight. I'm having trouble, though, making this hoop looser. So I'll have to do a little search around here. I know I have a large quilting hoop. Oh, but you know what? I think I'm using all my large quilting hoops as frames. I like framing fabric in them. Because here I want to get way lower. I'm just going to take this off. We'll try doing it without again. To get it loose enough, it just wants to pop off. But I'll still try and do it with this one hand. There we go. I want it more like that, where I can get this thumb all the way down here. Yeah, more like that. Actually, I think that'll be my last one, and then we'll go to this other one. Actually, that was really helpful just for those couple minutes of being in the hoop, because I couldn't use this hand. So now I'm less. I was going. I wasn't trying to use it right away, whereas before I kept doing it on accident. So I'm trying to train myself not to use this hand here. All right, let's get that last little up and down here, and then we'll cut our way back here. Okay, and I think I should have enough thread for all that. I got more thread this time. Yes, Robin, do it! Get the hoop out. So this is making me want to try this on, a larger project that I can do the hoop in. Yeah, this is the jam right here. Is like I got to get this thumb going too. That's the rocking. So down, and on my left hand, I'm just feeling for the needle to come through, and then I'm tilting it back up, and then pushing this fabric down to get like that mimic of a 90-degree turn. And here we're getting like a real 90-degree turn, and I'm just feeling for the point of the needle. So I think that's all the left hand is really doing. It's just hanging out underneath, feeling for the point, or the tip of the needle, and then So if my hand in a hoop wouldn't be here on the top at all, right? It would be underneath while this one was at the top. All I would be doing is feeling for that point, but I have to hold it with this hand too, so that's why my thumb is up here. Since I'm not using a hoop. All right, a couple more stitches here and we'll switch directions. But I am using my fingers here as if they're on the back just to feel. See, just the tip coming through. That's actually a little much there. And then I'm trying to use this hand. Gosh, it's kind of like one-handed embroidery is what it feels like. It's a bit challenging. Oh gosh, that's way too far. But I feel like if I had it in a hoop and just loose enough, I think we'd be doing the job here. All right, I'm gonna flip. Come down the other side here. So I've been rotating it a lot just so I'm always going in the same direction. Those of you who do more hand quilting, is that what you guys do? Are you always rotating your piece so your hand positions are in the same? Or are you like moving your hand with the piece? I would assume it's you move the quilt. That's why you probably have it in a hoop and you can easily move it. That's just my conjecturing. I mean, this metal thimble, like a thimble with these metal nubbins, like some sort of metal end, and these actually all the little holes really help to like lock your needle in place. I mean, it's pretty clear that this is what the intention is for these thimbles. I'm going at a really weird angle again. One thing at a time. Oh, so okay, that's interesting. So you can't move because you're in a big quilt frame. That makes sense. Like for like a quilting bee, when you have the whole entire frame out and lots of people are working on it, well, that makes sense that you wouldn't be moving it around, wouldn't it? So you would have to kind of adapt. You used to move the whole thing, and then you got a thumb thimble, so you could go different ways. Oh, interesting. So like at this point, if I couldn't move, oh, you're saying at this point, since I wouldn't be able to move this, I would also have a thumb thimble, so then I could go... Let's pretend. You could go this way as well, because you could press on the side. Oh my god. Ah! Oh, there we go. And then we get this hand going. Wow. Okay, that's going to be awkward. Hold on. I'm totally going to do it, though. Okay. Arloa, you move the material. Yeah, I suppose if you just have a small... Oh my god, I can't do that. We are going to switch back. Okay, you guys, my phone and computer are acting way weird, so I might actually run out of batteries here for some reason. My phone is usually powered by the computer, but neither seem to be doing that right now. So if I am gone all of a sudden, that is what happened. And if that's the case, I hope you guys have a fabulous rest of your Friday and weekend. Ugh, come on. Come on, rocking motion, get cracking again here. All right, let's regroup a little bit here. Okay. Let's go this way. Oh, you use the grippets. It's hard to pull the needle. Yeah, you almost need little pliers. Okay, so now here's a situation. I can't have my hand right here, so let's pretend my hand is only on the back, and let's do this for real now. Oh yes, Robin. Post the thumb thimble. I'm curious what that's like. Okay, I'm gonna cross over now to the next triangle. Okay, maybe this will power my phone now, I don't know. My computer was dead from when we were on vacation, and the power cord fell out last night, so I thought it was charging and it wasn't. So that's on 0, and apparently that's affecting my phone too. So we'll see how we go. You can quilt toward yourself and from right to left. Not so good in other directions. Oh, interesting, Jenna. I'm excited to improve on this though. Like, it feels good. Like, it feels like, ooh, this is something I want to know how to do. Feels like a life skill that I should have, like a desert island skill, or a zombie apocalypse skill that to have perfect little quilting stitches. All right. Yeah, I'm clearly not paying attention. I'm paying attention to one thing at a time, and it's not being parallel to, it's not stitching in a straight line. I'm just trying to get that rocking motion. I will have to address actually going straight at some point, but it's fun. Ooh, so far. See, like I said, there's resistance right when you start to go through the fabric, and then it goes away like right there. So you gotta get it right at the right point so it doesn't shoot through too much. All right, I think that is it for these mountains. I'm gonna try and get started on these next bits. So do you think this is too far of a jump to go from here to here? Probably. I'm gonna just tie off a knot. That'll be good practice anyway. So I saw a way. So I watched the Wendy Gratz video before coming on here, and she did like a square knot, or not a square knot, like a French knot, but she held it a little bit further away, so like right there. So instead of putting it right against the fabric, she kind of held onto it, and then had the knot so it was kind of far away. So it's like I have room to do a stitch yet with that. So then let's get the thimble back. So then she did a stitch, and again, just going in the top layer, just the top layer of fabric. And here's where it's hitting that knot, or the knot is hitting the fabric. And I'm just gonna pop it through. Yeah, I can travel the thread through the batting. I figured I could get up in there, and this probably wouldn't be that big of a jump, but I thought, you know what, I need practice on these starting and ending bits, I think. So there. So now that that knot's in there, I think I have enough thread here to putz around a little bit more. Oh, you were watching the Wendy Gratz video too? Yeah. It's from a while back, but it explained it really well. I watched a couple videos last night too, but that one seemed to do the job for me tonight, and I like Wendy, so support her by watching her video. All right, I'm going to take that out. Oh, this is how you do it, Arloa, too? Like, you do a French knot a little. So if my thread is coming out of the fabric here, I am going away, and I'm going around twice. So I go around twice, and then I'll hold that knot there and then pull through. So twice. Oh, I already did a knot here. Okay. So I'm going through, and we're gonna pop up in this mountain here. You can go distances by going as far as the needle, and then turn the needle back a little bit. Okay, that'll kind of lock it in place a little bit. All right. Good to know. All right, let's do this guy. Get my thimble in position here. Woo, see? Whoosh right through. Need practice. That's what we're doing. Wow. So I'm going through those several layers of fabric here too with that seam allowance. This will be our last one, I think. And obviously I'm going slowly. I mean, crazy quilters go like so fast. Like they would have been able to do that in like half a second. Done. We'll worry about that later. I'll get my stitches. See, those are some good stitches. Look at that. Those are really even. I wonder what they look like on the back. A little smaller on the back. I mean, in theory, they should be the same, but you know, whatever. I'm working at it here. So first I'll work on the stitches, getting that up and down movement cracked a little bit more than now. Then I'll work on stitching straight. I think that's gotta be a goal, and then we'll just work on comfort, and with that I think will come speed. Oh, a little bit, Catherine, getting the hang of it. So little by little here. All right, we'll go towards me now. Let's see how that works. This stitch is going to be bigger than I want, but oh well. Thanks, Arla. Well, the nice thing is I do have the whole rest of this this block, and I mean, you know, we can always do another quilt block in the Splendid Sampler doing this as well. But I do have that, like, ooh, I'm learning a new thing excitement, which I like. Ugh, that's so far away. I gotta get more vertical than what I'm doing, I think. All right. Well, you know what? It's holding my fabric together. We are quilting. We are doing the act of holding together fabric, so that's good. Oh, Robin says that there's a good Susie Quilts video on here. You know what? I think I might have gone to her blog post earlier today about that as well, and took a look at that. Okay, this feels the most comfortable. Going towards me, not as comfortable as this, like, right to left. So maybe we'll just stick with that for now. We'll get good at one direction before trying to work on a fixed piece, like where I move and the piece doesn't. But this right to left seems to be a good deal. Oh, you bought a lap quilt and rescued it by stitching it together. So my husband had a quilt from his, I think it's like grandma or his great grandma, and it was falling apart. And my mom actually, I think it just wasn't quilted so much, so like the batting wasn't staying in place and all that. And she hand quilted a bunch of little squares in each one of the little blocks. and rescued it. Gosh, I have almost enough thread to do this whole thing. We'll at least get this in the thread yet. If I were to do more, I mean, I don't know if I will. Maybe I'll just move on from this block. But, you know, I could do more. Like, we could do some shapes and stuff within here, too. That might be kind of fun just to keep practicing. I mean, we'll do the other blocks as well, but I kind of like the idea that we can add to this still. Like, I don't know, my hand keeps drawing like these little teardrops. That might be a little bit too difficult. Like, I might need like way smaller stitches to do that than what I'm doing now. So maybe that's not a great idea, but we could do more. All right, you know, we could also practice on the rest of this, and maybe by the time I come back or finish the rest, I could come back and see if I have any improvement. That might actually be kind of neat. I might not want to do it by then, but I like the idea of coming back to this block, these little mountains, when we're done with hand stitching the rest of this, because it'd be neat to see, to add more and see if there's an improvement, which hopefully there will be. I don't see how there can't be, since I'm at like base level here now. Ugh, we're just going up right there. Exactly, Robin, exactly. That's what I kind of like about it. The hand quilting will be the like I spy once the quilt's done, because the rest will most likely be the machine quilting. You needle turn using a John James quilting size 9. It's only 1 1/8 inch long. That's about what this is. So this is that's got to be about how long this is. Let's we can even measure, I suppose. Closest ruler is the block lock. So this is this is a 1 1/8 inch as well. So, and it seems about as thin. So I had pulled that size 9 Milner's needle, and it looks about the same width. So I suspect that this is also a size 9 1 1/8 inch long needle. Oh, some needles are even shorter for this. Oh yeah, I bet you 50 weight would be a little easier. It's kind of fun with this. I like that you can see it a little bit with this thicker thread. Oh, I started using that other hand again. Ooh. All right, we'll go down here and then tie a knot, and then I'll just go across there again, and we'll call it at that point. Assuming, I think I'm plugged in now. I'm thinking my phone's working now. Yeah, it's gonna, you can tell I'm concentrating. I'm saying rock and vertical in my head as I do this. Or back and forth. Almost there. A couple more stitches. Oop. Alright, we'll do, this is our last stitch. Alright, so then we're going to do that French knot deal again. So I'm going to do that French knot as if I'm doing a French knot. So I'm holding my thread that's close to the fabric here, away from the fabric, and then I'm going to do my needle away from the fabric as well, and then we'll go around twice. And instead of holding these two loops against the fabric like I would for the French knot, I'm holding it like a little over a stitch length away. I'm just going to hold those loops there so they don't move, and I'm going to pull the rest of this thread through. And there we go. So the knot's a little farther up. Oh, a piece of balloon to help grip the needle. Oh, that's interesting, Betty. That'd be an interesting thing to try. All right, and then I'm just going through the top. This is gonna form my last like stitch here. I think I'm kind of grabbing a little bit of batting. But all right, let's... Oh, normally I would come out the top, but I'm already on the edge, so why bother doing that? Pull that little knot through, and we're good to go. Okay, so I would like to, before we finish tonight, I would like to just finish this little dude up. Get this block done for now before we try moving on to one of here. Here I would like to maybe mimic some of these shapes. I think that would be kind of cool. Like we have this star and then we have like this star on the outside. We could even like mimic the star here. Ooh, I kind of like that idea. Yeah. I'll have to remember that for Monday. But yeah, then I think this hand quilting will sort of define those shapes a little bit, which will be neat. Ooh, there, that threaded real easy. All right, I don't need much for this. We'll just do that. Oh, Kathy, that's a good idea. That same knot for binding. I hadn't thought about that. Yeah. That idea is kind of new to me, making the knot a little farther away and then popping it through. I kind of dig that. All right, we'll go from inside out again. It's kind of been what we've been doing here. Okay. We'll just go right there. Just through the top layer again, and let's pop this through. Ha-ha! All right. Now we will shimmy from right to left. Get this hand, this thumb going. I really am concentrating hard here. All right, pull that first batch through. All right, this I'm just gonna shimmy. This is just to get me to the other side here. Just going through the top layer. There we go. But this is what they mean by that rocking motion for sure. Oh, you like the size of my quilting? Thanks, Joe. We're working it out. Right when I feel that needle tip go through on the back, I'm pulling it through. Or I'm tilting, rocking back the other way. Ooh, come on, little guy. I need like little rubber things on my fingers to pull the needle through. Rock with the one and yank with the other. All right, that's far enough to get me to make this leap again. I'm gonna leap to this last one. Okay, last little bit of rocking stitches. I like this though. I like this finger, my thumb being involved. I like that this is all happening with this one hand. It feels like a new coordination thing to learn, and it feels like I'm on the right track doing it. So I'm excited. Okay, let's do that last little knot again. I'm gonna remove that guy. Man, my finger is just like sweating in here. That's what's holding it on my finger. Now maybe nope. It still just fits best on my third finger. Wow, it's making it's making my finger a little black though. It is an old vintagey old thimble. Gross. Maybe I should figure out a way to wash that out. All right, let's do the French knot. But again, I'm holding those loops away from the surface just a hair. There we go. So my knot's, that's maybe a little bit big, but my knot's a little bit away. And I would come up in theory, but again, I'm right at the edge, so. There, pop that right through real easy. I think I popped it through some batting as well. I don't know, I feel pretty good about this. Oh, toothpaste clean silver. Oh, I'm gonna give that a try, because this one in particular is pretty gooky on the bottom, but it was so pretty. I got this at an antique store, and it fit just right, I thought. And it's just like, I like the juxtaposition of you got this really pretty frilly stuff and then just this grid work almost from all those needle holes. I just really think it's pretty, so that came with me. And I do have one more, but it just doesn't fit quite as well as this one, so this is the one that I want to have work. And I'm excited that I'm actually using it. Okay, I haven't tried a bunch of different thimbles. I kind of want to... I'd like to get a whole pile of them though now and try it, especially if I continue doing more hand quilting, which I feel like I might, because this feels good. So yeah, maybe we'll have to do a little quilting or thimble experiment here. But all right, we have a quarter of this panel quilted. No pins in there or nothing. So, oh, from the back it's cute. Oh, except for my blood that is still there. I mean, it definitely has a quilted look to it, for sure. You can see all of those big stitches. But that's how it should look. That's you're getting some of these shapes in. I like it. Cute, cute, cute. All right, I am really excited to continue this. I think just because this one's been on my brain, we'll do this next. I think we're going to do the star shape here. We're just going to straight follow this line. I mean, we'll probably go... We probably don't want to go right in the seam. So maybe we'll go right on the inside. Right on the inside, we'll go like cut down in here a little bit. We'll go right on the inside. And then... maybe here we'll go on the outside a little bit. I want to mimic that shape up here too. We can mimic it here. I think that would be kind of fun. So we'll get the idea of the two stars in here, which I think because of the colors I chose, they're all kind of blending together. So I think that'll help it pop just subtly, just a tiny hair. So, all right, you guys, I'm going to flip you around and we'll call it a week here. All right, so thank you guys for joining me these past 2 days. I'm sorry we couldn't get the whole week in here. Oh, stay out of the seam allowances. Yeah, you're right, because we are going to cut all that off, right? So we're going to trim this, so we don't want to trim our hand stitching. You're absolutely right. That will make the whole thing fall apart. So yeah, so we'll stay on the inside. We'll stay on the inside of these shapes. Well, and the inside of these shapes too. We'll just stay on the inside altogether. But, oh, look at, you can see it. Like, you can see the shadows from all of our little stitches. Maybe the bigger the better. Like, it's fun to see all those little stitch marks in there. Oh, cute. All right, I'm loving it. And it's definitely something to practice and something to work on, and I'm kind of excited about that. Ooh, a new skill. Always love that. So, all right, you guys, thanks again for joining me this week. Monday, I will share the bundle, that swan bundle again. Here's the stick and stitch, the sulky stick and stitch that it's on. That'll be part of the bundle, but I'll share that with you on Monday. You can also, I did put the link here, so if you wanted to stitch that swan up with me, not next week, but the week after, we'll be working on that, then be sure to grab it. It's in the whole bundle, but you can also get the pattern as a digital pattern by itself. So thank you guys, and I will see you on Monday. Have a great weekend. Good night.